Welcome, Low Ego Action Heroes. It's July 30th, 2021, and this is our every Friday reaction stream, though this one's going to be really long because you've been sending in so many things. My first question is, are we live on YouTube? Oh, good. Hi, Charlene. I didn't get my notification, so there's probably a bit of a lag. Thanks, Charlene. Good to see you. Happy Friday, everybody. Before I react to the things you sent in, I've got to react to something that just happened to me in real life, and I'm not going to name names. I got put on a bit of a side project with some people who are new to me, so it's been nice to meet some new people. And I just had a call for this project, and I was talking to a guy, and we had a very pleasant conversation about where we live and mostly things like that. Very pleasant. Seemed like a very nice guy. And he was kind of new to me. So after the call, I figured I'll add him on LinkedIn. But I notice I'm putting his name into LinkedIn and nothing's coming up. So I check my block list. He's not on my block list. So I go into a private browser and I put his name and his information into that, and something comes up. And I start reading through his background and, work history and stuff. And I realize, oh, he blocked me. And I remember that conversation. And that got really awkward really fast. So this was someone who he was joining a company I worked at as I was quitting that company. And that was a very toxic workplace. And when I heard he had joined, I had sent him a private message on LinkedIn and to say, hey, you're joining. This place can be a little bit messy. Let me know if I can help at all with understanding what's going on here and who the people are. I'm leaving, but I'm here for you if there's anything I can do. And basically he bitched me out and blocked me. And so the moral of my story is you will sometimes hear people say UX is a very small world, and time again we prove that. UX is a very small world. The fact that I've run into this guy again 3 years later, 3 and a bit years later, it is an extremely small world. Yes, there are tens of thousands of us, if not more, but I gotta tell you, the amount of stories I have of having a weird run-in with someone and then finding them somewhere else later is like really bizarre. So just remember, it's a really small world, and when you make a poor impression on someone, when you bitch someone out, especially when they offer to help you, you're going to be memorable. So on that note, let's take a look at some of the things that I'm going to be reacting to today, and there are a lot of them. So we are not going to do a short stream today. We are going to do a long stream, but I look forward to the people in the live chat, both on LinkedIn and on YouTube, chipping in on what they think and how many dogs they would give each of the things we're going to show. So let's start by flipping over my screen. Yes, you should see my screen now. So someone sent me this job, UX, UI, designer, and researcher. Okay, you know where this one's going. UX, UI, design, communicating with customers, translating their needs into visuals, developing mock-ups, prototypes, screen designs, integrating your research insights, proficiency with Figma and HTML, agile product experience. Okay, so you can see where this is going. So this is designer, researcher, and front-end developer. And the amazing thing I always think about these is not only everything that's in my HR training about how this is an impossible job and a moving target, but the amazing thing is there's nothing agile about this. There isn't going to be anything agile or efficient about waiting for one person to plan research, do research, analyze research, then start doing information architecture, interaction design, prototyping, do the testing, do the coding. There's nothing agile about that. If you watch my episode 116, I show that stuff like this can easily take someone half a year. There's no way the team is going to wait for you to do all of this stuff. So, not agile, another good reason why trying to combine lots of jobs into one in the long run definitely doesn't match all the agile and lean we keep hearing. If you care about those, then you've got to put, in my opinion, at least two architects on this to do the interaction design and prototyping, and at least I would put 3 researchers on this. Now we've got 2 tracks. Now we are cooking with gas. So I would give this one 0 dogs. That's not a choice. I'll give it 1 dog out of 5. I hope whoever got this has really good health care. All right, next one. This says head of product design, UI, UX. Obviously, a little bit of a bad start there. Oh, Charlene says, in the end, it will drop the UX and just make visual design so we can finish things. So true. You know it. So I don't know who Mediacom is, so hashtag not sponsored. But if we take a look at what they want for the role, head of product design, now it's UX, UI. Global strategic technology, okay. Integral part of the team, establishing user-centric design integral to function. This seems okay so far. So let's see what they expect you to do. Lead product design, focusing on creating visually appealing and intuitive user interfaces. Okay, red flag. I believe very strongly that any jobs that are manager level or higher should not be doing the day-to-day work. If you really are strategizing, if you are doing operational if you're doing design ops or research ops, if you are coordinating and collaborating with other departments on improving processes so that UX is more of a part of them, you don't have time to be a product designer. You don't, especially if you're running a team. If you are the head of something and you have a team and you have people to manage and you have their work to check or people to look after, you can't do this. So apply agile ways of working. Again, agile at this point is almost meaningless because if you really want something to be agile, then you hire enough people to do the work efficiently. You don't keep giving one person 7 jobs. So I'm sure people want me to respond to UI solutions and some of these others, but I can't even get caught up in that. Hello, Omar, live from Saudi Arabia. Thanks for joining us today. I would probably give this 1 dog out of 5 for the usual reasons. This is a job that's going to be, this is 5 jobs glued together. You're the manager, you're the operations, you're the strategist, you're evidently the researcher, you're the UX UI designer. It's just too much. It's not good. This is one that I gave myself. This is the gift that I give myself. This is a LinkedIn post from a day or 2 ago from someone I'm not connected to and someone I actually don't know. So I have nothing bad to say about this person. Hi, Denise. And this is someone named Jessica, who I don't know, but I certainly wish well. And it looks like she is quitting working for Jared Spool. Now, of course, for that, I congratulate her. And definitely, I'm sure that wherever she goes next will be better than where she's been. But what I thought was really interesting about her post, 2 things. 1, she's quitting working for Jared Spool without a next job to go to. I know that when people quit jobs without the next job lined up, that's sometimes a tough decision. You know, I'm sure she must have gone through a lot to get to that. But ouch. I've done that. I've done that a few times, and that's an ouch. I gotta go. The other thing I thought was interesting was that she seems to have tagged many of the people working with Jared, including Jared himself. But when I went through all of the comments, I didn't see a comment wishing her well from Jared or Leslie. I thought that they should have said something. Again, unless it's making me think there's some incredibly bad blood there. And I know that Jared and I haven't blocked each other on LinkedIn. We are certainly not connected, but we are not blocked. So I would see a comment from him. I would see a comment from Leslie. So, I feel like that says something too, and I'm sorry for Jessica or for whatever she's gone through or going through, and Hopefully she will go into something fantastic soon. Many people in the comments here were thinking of hiring her, so I'm sure she will bounce into something better soon. And of course, all of us at Delta CX wish her the best. I'm sure she's a wonderful low ego action hero who deserves a lot better. So, and again, if you're joining late, Jared Spool and I are giant enemies. And so I imagine working for him to be unpleasant, but I don't actually know. All right, let's take a look at a few other things that I got that I opened in a private browser. Hi, Mary. Another thing was someone sent me a link to, is the Interaction Design Foundation a scam? And it was a Reddit conversation, but we've actually done that one already. Y'all already sent that one in. And in short, it was a Reddit conversation saying the Interaction Design Foundation might be a scam because if you stop paying for their membership, you can't get your certificates anymore. And you would need to have downloaded your certificates, which they don't really tell you about. So maybe it's a scam that you still can't access your certificates. I don't always hold Interaction Design Foundation in the highest regard, but as for whether or not they're a scam or for that reason, I'm going to leave it to y'all. Now, you might be looking at this screen and saying, hey, Deb, what are you going to show us here? The answer is nothing, because someone sent me a link to TikTok and I don't use TikTok. Someone else sent me a link to Facebook and I don't use Facebook. So y'all, if you're going to send this stuff, maybe download it or something. And also, Stephanie Walter, friend of the show, said if I VPN into the country of Luxembourg, I would have been able to go straight to the TikTok video without having to log in. But because I want to use the best internet connection I have to broadcast to you, I am not on VPN right now, which means I can't see this. But I think it was Aitan who was nice enough in our Slack channel to grab this video for me and post it to our Slack channel. And it was a guy basically warning about look out for job postings that say they want self-managing, self-motivated people, and how that's usually a sign of a pretty toxic culture. That's just short version. It was a much longer TikTok video than those two sentences. And Aitan says, I'm here for TikTok reactions. Well, this is the wrong place, because even though you're welcome to send things in at deltacx.link/reaction, I don't have TikTok. So if you're going to send it to me, you're going to have to download it and find some place to put it and like WeTransfer it to me or something, because I can't see these things. I can't see Facebook either. Yeah, I do think that things like that in job descriptions can be a bit of a red flag. We'll give it a red flag. I also think there's a lot of red flags we see in job descriptions, like fast-paced, and oh boy, remember when I saw one that said young, and I was like, oh, ageist, oh. But fast-paced is usually a whisper at bad stuff. Self-motivated, self-managed is tough, because I think those are good qualities to look for. The question is, what does the company do with that quality? Do they then let you self-manage, or do they micromanage you? If they expect you to be self-motivated, does that mean they're going to be demotivational and you have to, solve your own problems? Anna, hello, is saying, how do I get to our Slack world? Slack is free to join. You can go to deltacx.link/join Slack, and you're welcome there. We've got over 800 members, but about 100 or so are active. So you're welcome to come and go as it suits you. So ultimately, I think this TikTok was interesting. Sorry, I can't show it to you, but there you go. So I'll give him 3 dogs, because sometimes self-motivated or things like that is just a quality we like in people, and sometimes they're asking for it because it's a messed up workplace, and we can't really know until we ask some better questions during the interview. All right, someone sent me this PDF. This was a job posting from the City of New York, Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications. They would like to pay $75,000 to $105,000 for an IT business analyst / UX researcher. Now, I haven't seen these two titles combined before, but I have met many business analysts who are absolutely sure that they are UX research experts and specialists. So I'm only half surprised to see this, though I do think it's unfortunate. And again, when we combine two full-time jobs, we run the risk that neither of them are done that well, that this person does not have time, that which one do you prioritize? So especially when you see here that they want to make sure that you are doing all of the typical business analyst documentation, where you're going to be doing data and UML models, and don't forget your research findings. So I think that the downside to this one, which I will give one dog, is that, as usual, combining two full-time jobs, or what might actually be three full-time jobs, is just setting people up for burnout, for, you're not doing the right thing right now. You're working on your research. Where's your UML modeling? You're working on your business analyst documents. Where's your research? So I'm always worried about these jobs that combine too many things and they're moving targets. They want you to have gone to college for computer science, HCI, preferred skills. So these preferred skills to me are mostly business analyst skills. And so again, it sounds to me like they just want a business analyst who says they can do UX research. And I think that's just unfortunate. Charlene says, is that a senior or mid-level salary? I don't know. This just says IT business analyst. Did it say how many years of experience they wanted? Yes, 4+. That would normally be mid-level, maybe on the edge of senior. And since the job doesn't say senior boop bop beep, I would probably expect that this is considered a mid-level job. But look at this, 4 years experience as a business analyst and UX researcher with at least 10 years of work experience. So we want a career changer who's been doing what we need for at least 4 years. This is just bizarre. I really think that even if medical marijuana is legal, you probably don't want to use it while you're writing a job description. So, look out for stuff like this, everybody. I don't think this is going to be a job that at least the low ego action heroes watching this channel are going to be happy to do. So 1 dog out of 5 on that. Oh, and don't forget, sometimes you might need to work 24/7 or what? Weekends, nights, evenings? What? Thank you for the skull emoji, Charlene. Itan says, I was literally thinking the person who wrote this job description must be high. I'm thinking the same thing. All right, let's move on. This one was sent to me. This is from Michaela Mora, who recently spoke at the UX research group, who I am a fan of. Oh, it's Tatuan. How are you? Tatuan says, good analysis on someone's departure post. Thank you. I would give her 5 dogs out of 5 because I wish her well. So Michaela, let's take a look at what she's saying. Insisting on differences between UX and market research methods doesn't help the company achieve its business outcomes. This insistence keeps UX teams and market research/insight teams working in silos and prevents them from learning from each other and showing their value, which comes from collaboration to support business decisions. So I don't personally know Michaela. I couldn't tell you very much about her. Other than I've seen a few LinkedIn posts and communications from her where she feels quite strongly that UX research kind of really isn't a thing, and that it all came from market research, and that things would just go so much better at companies if we could just admit that UX research is really some sort of repackaging of market research. And then she had like this little map that tried to say, here's what market research does, and here's what UX research does. And ultimately, my opinion on this is I kind of have to roll out my meaningful, actionable, helpful, which I also sometimes use as my clickbait meter. Nate says, I'm dead. Hi, Nate. So my question is, what if Michaela's right? What if she's 1,400% right? Now what? What do we do? Do we drop the UX research title? Do we drop all of the people who've gone out and gotten master's degrees in HCI or UX research? I know people who have specific degrees and even master's degrees in UX research. Do we tell them, I'm sorry, this isn't a thing anymore because marketing wants to absorb us like a great amoeba? And I also feel like if there is a problem with siloing, And if there is a problem with collaboration, I'm not sure that that's helped by telling another department to just be absorbed into us or to stop insisting on separation. There can be collaboration. Silos are not automatic. There can be market research and UX research, and we should work together. I speak at marketing events about how we should work with marketers, whether those marketers are using methods we love and that look like ours, or whether marketers are using methods we don't love. They're using too many surveys, focus groups, NPS. There's always opportunities for anybody who considers themselves to be in the marketing space to collaborate better with people in the CX and UX space. Personally, I think that this is all going to melt away when we shift more towards a CX term, because CX is that more strategic and action-based look at the whole picture. It's got the quant side from marketing, it's got the qual side from our research, and brings that all together strategically. So good luck, Michaela, with whatever it means to you to win this or lose this. I don't know why this is important. I think we just need to find better ways to work together and support each other and not act like, why aren't we saying that this came from this? Well, I mean, HCI came from ergonomics and industrial design. Does that mean there shouldn't be a UX? Nate says, I love what I'm hearing. I'm going to have to snag your book. Thank you, Nate. This isn't in my book. This is the Friday reaction stream. People send stuff in at deltacx.link/reaction, and every Friday I chop it to pieces. Normally I only do 4 or 5 of them, but I had so many that I wanted to catch up and do all of them. So we're going to do a little bit of a longer stream today, but I hope everybody's well and safe and wearing 7 masks today. Okay, so we got this one, I think, today. This was a tweet, and I've just zoomed in because all the responses to it don't really matter. This is a guy, again, who I don't know. This is Ben Blumenrose. Do not know him. And it says, man, the need for skilled product UX designers is so ridiculously high right now. Most of our companies are hiring for this role, and it's similar across all tech companies. We need to at least 10x the number of design schools, design boot camps, and professional development programs. Well, you can certainly see why this was sent to me. And of course, the first thing I did was look up who this guy was. And I found that he is an investor. He's an investor in tech companies. And I was very surprised to see this tweet because it kind of didn't make sense to me. We're in a world right now where the job market is definitely out of balance. There are way more people coming out of these design schools, design boot camps, and other programs looking for jobs, and there's very few companies willing to give them their first chance. So if he's so hot about companies trying to fill these jobs, are these companies open to giving someone their first chance? Or are they only looking for people who have 1, 2, 3, whatever years? You're an investor. Go talk to your portfolio companies and tell them there are people coming out of design schools. The problem isn't that we don't have enough design schools. The problem is that companies don't want to hire the people who came out of them. So, Ben, your tweet wins 1 dog from me. I think it's unfortunately misguided. I think it doesn't show that you're in touch with what's actually happening because, oh, there are design schools. I mean, I would imagine almost half of the people in our Slack world are looking for a job. Hundreds of people. And some of you are sharing that journey, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. Where's Ben and his portfolio companies and his buddies to hire you? Shouldn't you get a job? Shouldn't you get a chance? Or should we just have 10 times the number of design schools releasing more people out into the job market? It doesn't make sense. I think it's misguided, and it might happen anyway because design schools make money. And I think until all of this gets totally shaken up and corrected for, we're just going to see more carnage and you know, what, thousands of people. I think at this point around the world, thousands of people probably graduate from design schools each month. And how many of them get jobs? It's painful. Hate it. All right. Good luck, Ben. I think you're out of touch, baby. All right, I'm not going to play this YouTube video. You are welcome to look it up yourself, but I was sent this YouTube video. Iton says, I have 2 advanced degrees, 6 years in total, and I can't find a job, Ben. Yeah, I feel a little middle finger in there from Iton, and I feel it too. And it seemed out of touch. Let's just call it out of touch. Okay, so now this one, I ended up writing a Medium article about. And so thanks to the person who sent it to me, you inspired a Medium article. If you haven't seen my Medium article, look up deltacx on Medium, give it a follow, and you will see all of my articles as they come out. So this was a video, which you can see has almost 70,000 views. It's from just a few months ago, so you know how popular. Hey, Ben, there are 70,000 people watching a video that says, I want to become a UX designer in 3 months, and I'm just going to get that first job. So this was the story of this woman who I think was a career transitioner, and she talked about how she really wanted to work in visual design and UX, and so she quit her job and dedicated herself full-time to self-studying UI and UX, and she gave herself a deadline of 3 months, and then she was able to find her first job in 3 months. So that being said, remember, I ended up writing an entire Medium article on this. So there's plenty that I can say about this, but the short version, other than read the Medium article, is when boot camps are graduating hundreds or thousands of people a month, there's only going to be so many stories like these. This is a cherry-picked story. Where's the videos from all of the Itons and all of the other people who have graduated from boot camps, done self-studying, got 1 or more university degrees, and still can't get that job? Where are those voices? Because all I hear is, look what YouTube's now recommending to me. Oh, wow, look at me. I'm going to get all these jobs. Hey, you're going to get started in UX. Boom, pow. From the people who run design sprints. Yeah, well, and of course, 603,000 views. So Ben, there's no shortage of people who would love to get a UX job, but it's really difficult. Now, as for someone like this, this took place in Malaysia. And what I find is that stories like this do exist where UX is still quite new to the area. This was true in America in 2015, 2016. You could do General Assembly. Back in 2015, you could do General Assembly and get a very famous company to hire you right out of General Assembly because there were so many more jobs than qualified people. And there might still be parts of the world where that's true. Maybe in Malaysia, there are so many new UX jobs that someone's like, oh my God, like get us anybody who can show us any decent portfolio. So I don't know if this person's work is good or bad. I'm not judging this person at all. But one point that I want to make sure that I drive home to everybody is so far, 100% of the videos I have seen and the articles I have read that have clickbait titles that say, I can become a UX designer with no experience and no education and no qualifications and no whatever. 100% of the time so far, the video is about how they got experience, how they got qualified, how they got it done. And in her case, she was self-taught. But I think that the whole no qualifications, no experience, no whatever is clickbaity. Now, of course, it works because there are so many people, and I'm sure many people who are watching this, many people who are in our Slack channel have said, yeah, I've watched these videos. I was looking for something to give me hope. I want to hear somebody's happy story that they got these jobs. But I want to remind people it's cherry-picked, and many of these videos end up telling you how you need to learn and practice UX and have some sort of portfolio to get that first job. I've not yet seen a video that says, get a UX job with no qualifications. And then they go, yep, I was a hairdresser and I really wanted to work in UX, so I just started applying for jobs and someone gave me a chance. That's not how it happens. You see the video, it says, I was a hairdresser and I wanted to work in UX, so I went to a boot camp. Or I joined IDF. Or I got mentoring. There's always something they're doing. So, as for this, I'm going to give this person 3 dogs. Her story is real. And in some parts of the world where UX is still up and coming, it's possible. I remember when this was possible in America but many years ago. It's not the case now. And this is also going to change as the world embraces remote work more. Because hypothetically, even if a job in Malaysia is looking for a UX or UI designer, assuming they're open to people who speak English, they now have the whole world. They could hire someone from India, South Africa, Croatia, Canada, Iceland. So I think things are going to keep shifting, and just follow your own path. Forget about what everybody else did. Follow your own path and read my article. All right. Next. Now, someone sent me this, and the problem was I have no way to see what this content is at all. So someone sent me this IDF masterclass from this guy, and it said, and I don't know this guy, UX Magic, which I'm a little concerned about now, sounds Jared Spooley, achieve 10x better designs. And I always wonder where they get all this 10x shit from. Who measured this? What's our scale? How did you measure this? Achieve 10x better designs through semantic interaction design. Now, the problem was I read through this and I couldn't figure out what this guy was going to tell us. You know, I've got a 4-layer framework, and I've got an approach. I've got a successful new approach. And don't forget to go read my book. So obviously I'm not going to buy his book. I started Googling the heck out of this, and I couldn't find anything. Everything was behind a paywall. Or was pay for his book. Omar says, yep, it's similar in the Middle East. Right, exactly, Omar. They might have given you more of a chance than other countries are giving people a chance because it's just such a different market right now. Solomon says, semantic. And when I Googled this, I did find some images, some Google images that seemed to be from his presentation, but they were so out of context. You know, they were pyramids of layers of things. I could not tell what this was at all. I asked Larry Marine if he knew what this was. He didn't know. I asked some of my other low ego action heroes. They said they didn't know. So his 4-layer framework combining UX grammar, I don't know what that means, presentation, flow, and game theory. I definitely don't know what that means. I don't know if this is just another approach to information architecture when we start talking about grammar. I don't know if this is like the atomic design of interaction design. So ultimately, thank you to the person who, and also I'm always worried about 10x faster. I would love to be 10x better. I would love to be creating better solutions for people, but I don't need to be faster. Better sounds good. I'm a little worried about faster. And converting product requirements into designs, I really hope that we're caring about customers, going for customer centricity, and using research. Otherwise, it just sounds like you got your requirements, make your screens. Do not want. So unfortunately, this guy has this so locked behind so many paywalls and behind his book. I have no idea what it is. There were some videos on YouTube, but they were quite long and I didn't watch them. So if you dig into what this guy is about, won't you please bring it back to the Slack channel and let us know what the hell this was, because I can't react to it because I don't know what it is, which is too bad. And also, quick reminder, y'all don't have to create your own new thing. It's really okay if this is interaction design, call it that. If this is information architecture, call it that. We don't have to call it magic. We don't have to call it semantic interaction design. We don't have to call it object-oriented UX. We already have these things. Giving them new names just creates divides and fighting among people. All right, I was also sent this IDF link, which of course, as any company invested in UX and customer centricity would do, is give me a pop-up to join the mailing list, which I finally got off their mailing list. I had to write to the queen of this place, the queen of Denmark. So someone sent me this and said, do you use this tactic? Oh, look at this other pop-up. Do I want 8 reasons to join our community? This is definitely not customer-centric, this whole site. It just gives me such a bad impression of Interaction Design Foundation when it's like, is that the best interaction design? That as soon as I get here, there's a pop-up interrupting my task and my workflow to put me on a mailing list? I really hope I can join Interaction Design's mailing list, said no one ever. So someone asked me, do I use this method? The best ideation method is the worst possible idea. So let's take a look at what this is. Worst possible idea is a highly effective method to get the creative juices flowing and help those not confident in expressing themselves by flipping the brainstorm on its head, and it's fun. So already I can tell from this that this is going to be workshop theater stuff. This is going to be crazy eights and how might we's and all of this stuff. And many of you already know that I'm not into that. I have found that I am at my most creative when I am walking around my yard. I have found that I have my best ideas when I'm sitting with my dogs. And I have so many ideas that I'm proud of in the shower that I have been running Otter, hashtag not sponsored, in the shower and basically writing articles by speaking out loud. So I'm not big on workshops as creativity or workshops as innovation. And I think if we took a close look at these workshops, we'll see that we rarely have innovated. And sometimes our solutions aren't even solutions. So, look objectively. So I do not look at something and say, what is the worst possible idea? I can see how that might be funny. I can see how that might break the ice. But when I've done brainstorming sessions, I go right for, what are your ideas? What are the good ideas? It doesn't have to be the best idea. What's a good idea? And of course, I don't create a judgmental environment in my workshops because nobody votes on the winner. Nobody votes on the best idea in my workshops. We might vote on what we think is a higher priority for our company to address, but that's very different from vote on your favorite, vote on the best idea. Once you're doing vote on people's favorites and bests, then you do run the risk that people have an emotional reaction to not being picked. In my workshop, if you are not voted high, you might have one of the best ideas we heard today, but we've decided that there's just something else that our company should do first. And so that's a good way for me to give everybody a soft emotional landing in case they don't have their idea heavily voted for. Omar says, I took 2 of Interaction Design Foundation's courses. Decent, not great, just decent. Yeah, I hear they're hit and miss. I hear some are good, some are bad, some eh. So no, I don't use this technique, but again, I also don't typically use brainstorming stuff. We definitely don't want to quote Thomas Edison now that we have historical archival data that says he actually invented very few of the things that he's credited with, and that he actually stole those inventions and had a friend in the patent office putting his name on them. So let's not quote him anymore. He kind of sucks. Let's see. So how do you do it? Generate as many terrible ideas as possible. Again, sounds fun, sounds like a good party game, maybe a drinking game, but it doesn't seem like the best way to spend my workday when I'm trying to find good ideas. And they're claiming people have closed minds until you do this. I don't fall for all of this. I think these are just ugly generalizations. I don't want to assume the people I've invited to a brainstorming workshops have closed minds and can't think of good ideas without thinking of bad ones. So I will give this 1 dog. If it's something you want to do or try, you're welcome to. Again, I can see how it's entertaining. I can see how it is maybe emotionally satisfying, but I really don't think it is necessarily the path to creativity, innovation, problem finding, or problem solving. And finally, our last one for today is, you care about my privacy. I know you do. That's why I'm in a private browser. This was an article someone sent in, though it's not showing up on the screen right now, but here it is. We can see it in the URL. This is from 2013. So this is like before some of you even heard of UX. This is super old school. It's from Wired magazine, and it's called Why Your UX Designer Won't Be the Next Steve Jobs. Well, hey, if UX designers devote their lives to improving and perfecting the user experience, blah, 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 blah. Jobs' fanatical focus on design played a pivotal role, but Jobs didn't just understand UX. What made him great was his ability to communicate the benefits of his design decisions to key stakeholders and consumers, fueling exponential growth for Apple and brand loyalty. Soft skills. So I haven't read this whole article, and you can see I've only just gone down the page slightly. But we can also see that this is a plug for Aquint. the staffing firm. So this person might have a horse in the race. Even though I've had good experiences with Aquint, there might still be a horse in the race for writing this article. This might be fake thought leadership piece. From what I have heard about Steve Jobs, Michelle says, I watched the UX Magic webinar. I have the book. It is really about trying to reduce UI objects into nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Ooh, sounds like I don't want that. Michelle says, I tried to understand how this would be useful to me, but I got sleepy and bailed. I feel ya. All right. So back to this one. This, from all the things that I've heard Steve Jobs did, and from things I've heard him quoted, usually what I hear people talking about is how he didn't want to design something for people and then figure out how to sell it to them. He wanted to learn what they needed and design for those needs and pain points and preferences. And that was supposedly the strength of Apple, or at least in the early days. So that's usually the flag we wave about Steve Jobs, is that it was a very, at least in the early days, customer-centric flag, in that he was trying to understand his target users and build the thing that would be best for them, versus let's build what we feel like and figure out how to sell it to people. This article claims that the magic of Steve Jobs is his soft skills, his ability to communicate the benefits of his decisions. I don't know. I also heard he was a bit of a tyrant. I'm not, how much, do we know if he was out there communicating the benefits of his decisions, or was he just going with his decisions? So the bottom line is this: a designer's ability to understand and communicate business objectives can have a greater impact on a project's successes or failures than their UX chops. I'm not feeling that one either. I think it's important for you to have UX chops, and you need to speak the business's language, which I've been talking about all this year, and especially in episode 116 in the live podcasts playlist. So I don't know, Aquint person. If your UX designer is not the next Steve Jobs, it's not because he or she is a poor designer. It's because they're unable to communicate effectively. Oh, come on. Come on, are you really trying to say that if someone isn't Steve Jobs, that they need better soft skills and communication? I gotta go with 0 dogs on this, because I don't have 0 dogs. I'm gonna have to go with 1 dog on this. This is an unfortunate article. It's one of those things that's set up as fake thought leadership, but when you put on your critical thinking hat, who's got theirs handy? When you put on your critical thinking hat, you go, well, wait a minute. Is that true? Could this be true? Could it be true that if someone isn't Steve Jobs, it's because they're not communicating effectively with business leaders? I think that's really unfortunate. And I think when we think about the number of Steve Jobses out there, it's just unfair pressure to put on people. I don't want to be compared to him. I don't want to be compared to, let's flip back. Hello. I don't want to be compared to Walt Disney. I don't want to be compared to Stevie Wonder. I don't want to be compared to the most talented, meaningful, effective people that inspire most of us. I don't want someone going, gosh, Deb, you're just really not the next Steve Jobs. No, I'm not. And that's okay. I like me. Me is good, as is, just the way I am. I accept me. Let's take a look at some of the comments from the chat room. Madalena says, yeah, if you look into their factories and supply chain, doubt there's anything inspiring. What a load of bleep. Solomon says, I want to be able to flip pages on a screen that aren't even there. Figure it out. Michelle says, holy hell, Jobs was not a designer, UX guy, researcher, period. He hopped on the shoulders of brilliant people and took the credit. Yes, I've heard a little bit of that. I didn't read his biography, but I heard he was a difficult tyrant. And I think a lot of people forget that some of Apple's best-loved things were actually bought from other companies. Even Siri wasn't at Nuance? Or, a lot of things that people love the most about Apple were just other companies they bought and then slapped their name on. So, yeah, I'm not an Apple fan. I'm Windows and Android. Hashtag not sponsored. So there you go. Madalena says also, why do people rank people like Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates as demigods? It's true. I don't want to be compared to any of these people. These people were privileged, and in some ways I'm privileged too. Some of you have experienced privilege, but not like those guys did. And so, yeah, I don't want to be compared to them at all, favorably or unfavorably. I just want to be the best me I can be, whatever that looks like. And if luckily no one's ever said to me, you're no Steve Jobs. I'd be like, well, thank you. I heard he's a bit of a dick. But yeah, I don't know. Again, put those critical thinking hats on and recognize clickbait and fake thought leadership when you see it. You can usually figure it out. There's usually enough illogical things and jumps to conclusions without any facts or data or ideas. You know, if your UX designers and Steve Jobs, they need help with communication. Whoa, that's a jump. That's a giant jump. That wasn't just a hypothesis. That wasn't just a maybe. That was like a, here's your problem, everybody. So work on your soft skills. P.S. I'm from Aquint. Okay, Aquint person plugging Aquint. And again, I like Aquint, but that's fake thought. I have no patience for fake thought leadership. I saw some this morning. Won't talk about it. No patience for it. Saw it in a LinkedIn group. Assume I'm going to be thrown out of the LinkedIn group. No patience for it. Dinner shake. All right, we made it through everything in only 45 minutes. Remember, we are broadcasting next week. You can always check, let's put it up on the screen. You can always check deltacx.link/events for things that are coming up. I keep forgetting to tell everyone to enter the giveaway, so I'm going to extend it through August too. The giveaway is going to be a box of treats from Italy. Italian pasta and cookies and good stuff that I'm going to buy and I'm going to send to you. And that's expensive. That's about €100 value. So I am going to, you can enter the giveaway. Please only enter it once, deltacx.link/giveaway. And please only enter it if you are able to receive packages from Italy. I know some countries that right now, due to COVID, are not receiving packages from Italy. I would hate to spend €100 or dollars on this and have it come back undeliverable. So join the giveaway. If you want to have me react to something on Fridays, deltacx.link/reaction. If you want me to answer a question for Tuesday's office hours, /ask. If you want to sign up for any of my coaching, /coaching. If you want a free portfolio review and you haven't had one yet, /portfolio-review. And then, of course, tell everyone about my free 8-hour HR training program, /HR-training. That's with deltacx.link all at the front because that is my URL shortener. Any other last comments from the chat room? Good to see everybody today. Anybody doing anything special this weekend? No. Mysteriously quiet. Okay. We'll go with mysteriously quiet. So in that case, I guess I will play us out of here, but I know we're going to be back on Monday. Monday, we have Daniel Engelberg coming back by popular demand. Solomon says, meeting 30 people to plan a film shoot. Neat. I know my favorite band is planning a film shoot in Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania. I will not be there. That's probably not what Solomon's doing either, but that sounds very cool. Monday the 2nd, Daniel Engelberg will be back talking about increasing your creative capacity. Tuesday, office hours. Wednesday, we're going to play with brainstorming better titles for what we do. So just a little fun adventure. Friday, reaction stream. Oh yeah, and then Monday the 9th, we start some August micro lessons. I might just be winging these. I might not make any slides or notes. We might just wing it, but we're going to talk on Monday about, Monday, August 9th, about note-taking, coding, and affinity diagramming. At least I'll talk about how I do it. Tuesday the 10th, office hours, Ask Me Anything, but not with the other Musketeers. We had to reschedule. Wednesday the 11th, monthly Slack video networking. So if you're in our Slack channel, come join. Friday the 13th, reaction stream. Monday the 16th, micro lesson on running screener surveys. Tuesday the 17th, early office hours, and then Three Musketeers later in the day. Friday 20 reaction stream. Monday the 23rd, dentist. You're not coming to that. Monday the 23rd, Michelle Ronson will be back to talk about when do we want to do moderated versus unmoderated studies. So don't forget, join us later. Maitan says, wear your suits for networking. No, just wear clothes. That's all we ask. Just clothes. You don't have to have makeup on or anything. Just clothes. We'll be fine. Omar says, I'm planning a UX strategy for our startup. Never done it before. Well, if we can help at all, drop by the Slack channel and we'll try to help out if we can. All right, I'm going to play us out of here because I'm doing a coaching call in 10 minutes with one of our favorite friends of the show. And so I will see everybody soon. Again, please wear 13 masks because I'm hearing about people who are vaccinated and still getting the Delta variant. I am scared. I'm scared for all of you. And I know it might not be fun to sit home during the summer, but please do. Even after I'm double vaccinated, I'm going to sit home. Because I don't want to get COVID no matter what. So if that's your plan too, there you go. Madalena says, I shall put on my best pajamas. I hope so. Only the best for us. Everybody be well. See you in Slack and catch you later. Customer centricity as business intelligence. Visit deltacx.com to learn why we are